Welcome to the Fluffy Cow Studio. Thank you so much for popping in today. We got some fun and cute little um, DIYs for you today, and I'm hoping that you enjoy them. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for returning. Appreciate your support so very, very much. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to start with this egg sign that I got from the Dollar Tree, but it was I didn't really like it, and I'm taking off the paper. I'm just scraping off the paper, and I didn't have well, I did have a scraper, a paint scraper, but it's out in my shed and it was raining and cold and I don't want to go out, so I just used this razor to scrape the paper and stuff off. But it would be a lot easier with a scraper of some kind instead just a razor blade. But it wasn't hard at all. Now I'm going to spray it down with some water to get all the paper and the glue and the gunk off. And I'm going to let it sit for 5 or so minutes. I didn't show that, but that's what I did. I let it sit for that. And when I got this scraped off, it was still a little sticky from the glue, so I did it one more time. But I didn't wait till, for it to get soaked in. And now I'm scraping all the glue crap off and wiping it off, and I still didn't really like it, so I took a little sandpaper and scraped it some more just to even it all out and get the sticky stuff off. Most of it was off, but there's still just a little, so I just wanted to sand it down and smooth it out, and and then I don't even think I used this side, but it doesn't matter. Okay, now I am going to paint it white, and I will paint the other side white as well. I'm just squirting a little bit of water on there to make the paint flow a little bit better. Just doing a little bit more squirting there. Not too much, just a little bit. If it gets too much, then it gets all runny and gross. Okay, then on the other side, I painted some yellow and and I'm just looking and seeing what in the world is on my lens. Oh, I am so blind, it's unbelievable. Okay, I painted um, a third of it yellow, a third of it pink, and a third of it purple. And then I put little white stripes on the purple, and I dry brushed, or not dry brushed, but tapped or sponge painted. I sponge painted on the yellow, and I just did white. Now I put a little stencil on there, and I am right now going just tapping the black. It's just black acrylic paint, and I'm just tapping over the top of it. And now that I got it done, I'm going to carefully take that off, and then when cleaned my stencil and come back, and now I am going to paint it. Right now I am using nutmeg brown to paint my little cow. I'm just kind of going over the outlines, and then I realized that this top part was still pretty wet, and it was smearing and blending, so I thought I'll just do the bottom part while I'm doing this. And I'm showing you this because I'm going kind of fast because it takes a long time. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing little lines, but I'm doing very, very light lines. Just very, very light lines. Like then I kind of blend a little bit in, and then I do a little darker line, and I think right now I am using some I don't know if it's the golden yellow or if it's the beachcomber beige, but I'm just kind of going over it with the lines again because I'm trying to, um, you know, make more definition, and I want it to be fluffy. But I oftentimes kind of blend it a little bit and then I just go back to the lines. I don't blend it enough to take away the lines, but just to blend them in a little bit. And I do that on all over the cow, and I'm not going to show all of it because it's kind of time consuming, but is all I'm doing is just drawing little lines, and some of them are very light and some are darker, and I think right now I am still using, okay, now this is antique white, and I'm just kind of going over, um, I'm doing shading purposes. So like on the legs, on the face, on the ears, one side's going to be just a little bit darker than the other side. And so I'm putting on the shading right now. I'm hoping on a bigger screen you can see this better, but I'm just looking at it on a tiny screen, and I'm blind, obviously. And so um, I'm just basically not able to see a lot of what's going on. But, and now I'm just doing the top. And because I kind of smeared the top, I kind of lost the lines telling me how, the stencil went. So I'm just making it up as I go, putting the hair in the direction I want it to go. And again, I'm just using little lines, kind of smooth it out, and then um, do some more little lines. Some light, some deep, and a little darker. I'm just gonna keep going over everything. I paint the little nose with that Beachcomber beige and the horns with the Beachcomber beige. And then I use black, of course, for the hoofs and the eye. And then I paint the hat white. But because of the shadowing and everything, there's a little bit of gray and stuff in it too. I'm going back over it with the some black, just to get the like shaded areas and definition. I got just a little tiny bigger brush right here, and I'm just kind of going over but kind of smoothing some of those areas out. realize my hand's in the way so you can't quite see. I really need to figure out some better filming skills. And now I'm kind of going to start working on that other eye on the other side. And when they get good and dry, I'm going to add a couple little dots to make it look more alive and to make him look a little happier. We like happy cows. Our cows are starting to, I guess I shouldn't say are, the nephew's calves are starting to calve, and I want to go up and get some pictures of them or do a little filming of them because I love baby calves. I think they're so cute, but there's been a couple that have not wanted to. One that was too weak to suck, so my nephew brought it home and nursed it back to health when it was born, so now it's with its mom living happily. And then there's another one that the mother just wants absolutely nothing to do with it, so they're hand feeding it. I used to have a cow that I had to hand feed, and I called it Snooter because its snout was uh, it was a brockle faced cow, and it just was really cute the way the markings were. But we like our cows to be happy, so we're going to try to make a happy cow. And now I think I'm just going underneath the hat, making the definitions. Oh, now I'm working on the hat, getting that white. There's going to be some gray in the shadowed areas, and which would be there'll be a little more dark on the left hand side than the right hand side. Then I'm just going to do the little horns now in that beachcomber beige, and here is the final project. I've glued some eggs. I cut them in half and then I glued them, but first of all I put some reindeer moss underneath him and some little foam Easter eggs, and I do not know why I didn't film this. Then I made a little bow and put on top. I think I felt that this was, well, actually I think is what happened is, I don't know what happened, but it didn't get filmed the way I wanted it to. But it wasn't hard, is all I did is cut those little eggs off, or in half, and then put the flat sides down. Now I'm taking some air dry clay, and I kind of rolled it out, and then I put it in the mold, and I'm just kind of rolling over the top of it, getting all them things, all the clay pushed down in, and then I'm taking a craft knife and just cutting around the edges of that mold. And this one I had a little harder time getting in because I forgot to put the cornstarch in the mold. I got these molds in from Temu. They were about $4, and I got a rooster and I got this one, and they actually work really, really well. Now after they've dried for a good hours, I think I went a little longer than 24 hours. Now I'm painting them, and I'm painting them a chocolate bar brown on the brown parts, the hairy part, the cow parts. And I do two coats because, and then kind of touch up because sometimes it's hard to get into those little teeny tiny creases. Okay, now I'm going to take some cool blue and I'm going to go over the scarf that's around his little head, his neck. And then we will also do the hat in the same color. The other little cow, his little scarf and hat is in the color of tangerine cream. There's a lot of painting in these two crafts. I tried to cut it down so it's not so long, but I just realized looking at that little egg, after I got the little cow done, I put some white polka dots on the pink paint. Okay, now I am just going to paint the little hoofs. And I'm just painting them black. And I don't know why I showed doing both of them, but apparently I did. Okay, now I am going to take some is it sienna? Yeah, I'm taking nutmeg, sorry, nutmeg. And I'm just dry brushing kind of over the top of it. And then I go over that once it dries. I want to make sure it's dry, and I go over it with King's Gold. Okay, now I'm going to take, and then I dry brush on the scarf and the hat some white, and the hoofs a little bit of white too, just to give it some depth. And now I'm taking some alcohol and I'm going to clean this, I don't know, is it a wine glass? I am not alcohol literate. Anyway, so I'm taking this glass and I'm going to clean it with some alcohol. Then I'm going to I'm going to trace around that cup part some cardboard, and then I'm going to cut it out and paint it white. Okay, now that I got it painted white and it's good and dry, and you want to make sure it's good and dry, I am gluing a Jenga block onto the back of my cow, and then I put on both sides a little bit of the E6000, and in the middle I put the hot glue. And then I'm just gluing this flower, this peach flower. Um, if you haven't been watching me very long, my kind of theme of color in my living room is peach and blue, and I absolutely love those two colors together. And so I am doing this. It's kind of a springy craft, but I am turning it into a um, year-round craft. But you can do this, and you don't have to use cows, and you don't even have to put anything in it if you don't want to, or you can just put flowers or whatever you like you can put in there. Now I'm just taking some E6000 and I'm going around the edge of that cup and gluing down the cardboard. After it gets good and dry, then I will um, glue some beads around that cardboard edge. Now on the other one I put the peach colored scarf and hat in, and I put some blue, and here you can see there's some blue flowers in this one, and that one has the peach colored, the cow with the peach scarf, and the peach one has the cow with the blue scarf. And here I didn't paint the bottoms, but after it got good and dry I went back and painted the bottoms. I don't know what it is about me. I get doing things and I get excited to see the finished project, and so I um, kind of skip things, then I have to go back and fix things. But you don't really have to do that if you don't want to. Now I'm just taking some ribbon. I suck at making bows. And this is peach, and it's about, I think, 1.5 inches or 2 inches. It might be 2 inches. And I glue the ends together, and I think I glue, maybe I don't, but I think I glue, yeah. And I'm gluing it down as well. And then I scrunch them up and I tie them together. And I didn't put my tail in. I think I glue them on, or maybe I tie them after I get the little bow tied, because I am so bad at making bows. And after I get through messing with it, if I ever get through messing with it, I really thought I cut this out. Then I'm going to take the bow, the tail part, and tie it on. And is what I do, because you might not see me do that here, but is what I do is I take those, I tie, I take and I, right now I'm just tailing those end of the ribbon. And then I'm going to take and tie it around, I'm going to glue it, but I'm also going to tie it around that glass, the stem of that glass, and then I am going to glue the rope down as well as the flower, and that seems to hold it pretty good. Hot glue doesn't necessarily stick to these glasses too good, so but when I put the glue on it didn't stick really well with the bow, but when I put the glue down on the string, it glued and it stayed really well. And now I'm going to take a little blue ribbon and I'm going to glue it onto, I'm just going to do one, just a little bow, glue the ends together and tie a little jute around it. And then I will take a couple little strands of that ribbon and glue it for the tail. Then I also take, and I don't know if you see this, after I glue this on, I cut a little one of a foam ball, a blue little foam ball from the Dollar Tree. I cut that in half and glue it in the middle. And then I also take some of those little beads and I glue them so there's some little strands. Thank you so very much for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed this. This is the finished project, and I apologize I didn't have my tripod and so it might be a little bit bouncy. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. You are awesome. Remember, you may be one person in this great big world, but to one person you may mean the world. Never forget your value. You are awesome. And with that being said, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you.